Councilmember Brad Landers. Brad Landers has stood with us. Hold on. Brad Landers has led the fight for you guys on the City Hall steps for fair scheduling for you guys and safety practices that USIC was not doing proper. Brad Landers also is pushing that bill, and in April, am I correct, April? In April, there is going to be a hearing for that bill. So there are friends in other unions. We have friends in the City Council that believe in workers' rights. And I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Brad Landers, and let's give him a round of applause and thank you for showing up.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with you guys. Some of you I met down at City Hall when we had the hearing, and I think I have some promising news to bring that I didn't have this morning when I woke up. So I did a little research today, and it turned into something that I think has a real good chance of helping us work together and getting what you guys deserve. And I want to start by just giving you guys the credit, because having the guts to organize together and fight back against that is really hard, really hard, and they come at you, and they're coming at you now. So that is part of why I believe in trying to use City Hall how we can to show up for you guys. There's kind of three things on the table here that I think the city can help with: the prevailing wage, some required training, and either a ban on on-call scheduling or significant additional compensation if you're required to do it. So those latter two things, we have bills that got drafted, that got introduced in the council, and that there's a hearing on in April. It's a joint hearing of the Labor Committee and the Transportation Committee. And I should be straightforward. 2/3 of the council are not co-sponsors of the bill because Brad Landers said, please sponsor the bill. And I'll be honest, 34 of the 51 members of the council have not dug in and learned a lot about the plight that you guys have every day. They are sponsors because they know the union, and the union reached out and said, this is important to us. And so we have 34, more than 34, I think it's now up to 35 or 36, 2/3 of the council. We only need 26 to pass the bill. So I feel very optimistic that those two bills will get, heard at committee in April, and then will be passed by the council, and be a law. It won't be up to them at the bargaining table. Do they provide safety requirements, and do they prohibit on-call scheduling, or depending on how we wind up amending it together, compensating highly for it. So those two things I feel really good about. The question mark is on prevailing wage. What the controller said is, we believe it's covered. We believe that these jobs are covered by prevailing wage, and that's why we're moving forward to investigate the complaint. And our interpretation is that the law was written intending to cover the work that you guys do. So they believe that. They did say, the guy from the controller's office said to me today, the lawyer that looks at this, their chief labor law lawyer, I believe they're covered. We believe they're covered. And we're willing to, we believe it is, we're willing to go forward with the complaint. We're going forward with the complaint, and we think we'll win. And this is kind of the new news I have. We think it probably would strengthen the case if the City Council would introduce and pass a bill that just takes away any gray area that says, it's just crystal clear. The marking and locating work, when done, contracted for utilities or their equivalents, is covered by the city's prevailing wage law. And that if we pass that law, there just won't be any question about whether it's covered. That little bit of question that exists today, which I think it would be found to be covered, we can remove with our law. So the good news is sometimes our hearings come up fast, and if the hearing were next week, the other two bills would be in good shape, but I wouldn't know that I wouldn't have confidence that I could get the prevailing wage bill drafted. But I reached out to the drafters today. I got this information from the controller's office, and we're going to move forward to introduce a bill that I don't want to guarantee it, but I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel pretty confident. I feel pretty confident that we will be able to get introduced and heard at that same hearing in April that just makes it crystal clear in New York City law that the